So actually, all I heard was that you started waking up with some headaches in the morning.
Yeah, more like tiredness really, and being exhausted rather than actual pain in the head.
Yeah.
But from that, in about a year, I remember during the next year after that started happening, pretty much before every exam session in the school, when stress kind of happened, I would get a not severe headache, but not pleasant headache for maybe 3 or 4 days. Then it would go away, and then it would come back. But after the exams, it usually calmed down and went away for another 2 months or so. Then it would come back. So
Okay.
I suspected originally it was a dental problem that um, it was getting worse and worse. That I would get headaches in the afternoon and in the morning more frequently. That it would be at first it would be periodically, maybe once in a 2 months I would have 3 or 4 days of having headache, maybe even a week. Then sometime afterwards I would have had a 14 days, usually in the afternoon or in the morning, while not after not eating for a longer time or
Okay.
anything really that would trigger the headache.
Okay.
And
And then,
in the end,
yeah,
in
yeah.
the in
Mhm.
summer, when my problems escalated about half a year ago, that was when I started really waking up with headaches every morning, and they weren't stopping.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
And what? So that point in time, you say about half a year ago, it
yeah.
was that was the peak. That was the point where you felt the worst throughout this period of
The
time. Was that your worst
the
period?
worst. Um, I think, yeah, that was. I think there were two peaks when I was feeling the worst. That was probably at the end of the summer in
Mm-hmm.
August after the tooth extraction,
Okay.
and
And what kinds,
for
if I
some,
can ask you, what kinds of symptoms do you have if you're able to recall or remember back, what kind of symptoms did you have at that point in time? So you mentioned headache, for example.
it was especially the headache
Mm-hmm.
and the sound sensitivity started getting worse from that point as well.
Mm-hmm.
That the headaches were at its and the sound sensitivity kicked in.
Yes.
Eyes as well. Somewhat a little bit more watery eyes I've had. Um, back more.
Back pain.
Mm,
Yeah. Okay.
okay. Uh, let me recall. Mm, I just being low energy,
Yeah.
feeling drained energy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's difficult to remember back because there are so many different symptoms. And then you started the trigger point massage about half a year ago. Actually, before we get into that, have your doctors said that they thought it was a dental problem that spread, which turned out not to be the case. But have your doctors did they give you any other diagnosis?
Well, the it kind of depends to which doctor you go. That if you go to a dentist, they are going to tell you it's a dental problem. If you
Absolutely.
go to neurologist, they are going to tell you it's psychosomatic.
Yeah.
We don't know anything. It's either migraine or you're making it up.
Yeah.
When I went to physio, he gave me a um, explanation based on the bones and on the vertebrae.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, at the infections department, they told me that's the fourth doctor I went to.
Yeah.
The infections department, they told me there's nothing wrong with me,
Yeah.
and
Okay,
yeah,
so like a mix of different diagnoses, and none of them really made sense in the end. Okay, okay, that's good. So you started the trigger point massage about half a year ago, and how has that what has that done to you?
The like I said, I was only massaging the STM at first. That's the I was doing that from September until about November. For about 3 months, I was just concentrating on the SCM. Then I started with the upper part of trapezius, and I think that got me slightly better. But when I came home for Christmas, I started getting migraines again and so on. And that's when I thought that the massage is helping somehow, but it might, because I didn't suspect it could be anything from the neck muscles. But like I told you, I went to the acupuncture, the Chinese acupuncture, which helped somewhat because he didn't work many areas around the neck. But then I went to sports acupuncture, and that has helped me a lot to get rid of the migraines. That it got me rid of them for about 3 weeks. Then they start kind of coming back, but then I finally got the back number about that time, and the migraines are completely gone at the moment.
Yeah.
The really bad headaches are gone.
Okay, that's great. So percentage wise, how much better do you think you are now, if compared to since you started the massage up until now?
Mm, I think I would say good 50%.
Yeah.
That at the beginning I was every so often I would stop between activities, cooking or washing up or whatever. I would be holding my head and I wouldn't really be. I was just paralyzed by the pain, which is rarely happening now. It's still hard for me to function. It's still hard for me to function normally, to wake up on time because it's still painful, and the loud noises are driving my head crazy. But I would say it's nothing compared to what it was. So at least 50%,
Yeah.
I think,
Okay.
decrease in symptoms.
Okay, that's really good. All right. So I think that's more or less it. What I need for now in terms of your story. That paints a good picture of your symptoms and what you've been through and what you've done. So the next thing